All right, it says the internet could see me, so I'm guessing it was working. I don't know. All right, it says it's been like years since I've well, not years, but it feels like forever since I've uh went live with my PC. So I'm not sure if I'm even live, but for some reason it's saying unsupported resolution. I don't know why. Let's check if this is live. Like, see. It says I'm live. So I guess that means I'm live, man. Whoa, Mr. Wigmore. Welcome to the stream. I hope you could hear me. Hello to you, sir. Is it just me, or has Wilder's wife had more top 10 heavyweights than he has? Wilder's wife. I don't even know who she is. I don't really look at boxers like personal lives. I don't even know who that is, who his wife is. Can you believe today's fight day? I had no, it passed so fast, man. I didn't think it would be this quick. We were gonna get Wilder versus Tyson Fury, but I'm happy that it is happening now, rather than like later this year. It makes sense though that it's happening now because they're gonna fight again later on. Today is, in a few hours, we're gonna get the Wilder versus Tyson Fury fight, and I'm happy about it, and I'm excited about it, and I don't know who's gonna win that fight. I'm actually nervous, man. I'm nervous going into this fight. I don't know why, but I feel nervous. Because I feel like this is a fight that anybody could win. So I just I'm just praying. I'm praying that this fight doesn't like get any controversy or anything, you know. I hope if Deontay Wilder knocks out Tyson Fury, I hope it's not like he hits him with a back of the head type of shot, and then everyone's like, oh, Wilder fucking hit, you know, Fury with a back of the head right hand, and Fury was all over, you know, that freaking ruined his fucking brain. It made his brain into scrambled eggs, and that's the only reason why Wilder won. I hope if Wilder does knock out Fury, it's like right on the chin. Right on the chin, he hits him with that right hand, and he knocks out Fury, and then, you know, it's all, there's no controversy or anything like that. My money is on Fury. I'm really surprised how heavy Wilder was. You know, every boxing expert that I've seen, they're all picking Fury. Like, nobody's picking Deontay Wilder. I'm surprised nobody's picking Deontay Wilder because Fury didn't look that impressive in his last fight. You know, normally it's like you're only as good as your last fight, and I wasn't impressed by the way how Fury performed in his last fight when he fought that. I think, was it Otto Wallen? I already forgot, but I remember he got cut up in that fight. He was bleeding a lot. He didn't look that good in that fight. But everybody is like picking Fury to win 110%. Or at least most people. Most of like the boxing experts. Except I did see that Teddy Atlas had, you know, wrote some things and said some things about Fury. Hi, Vic. It's such a 50-50 fight. What if Fury does that? Exactly. Yeah, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I don't know who's going to win. I'm actually nervous. Like, this is a type of fight where Like, I get nervous when I don't know who's gonna win in a fight. You know what I'm saying? I feel nervous going into this fight because I look at it like this. I look at it like Wilder could easily knock out Fury. Fury could make one little mistake and he gets knocked out, or maybe Wilder can't land. Maybe it's the thing where Wilder is not capable of landing his right hand for the first time in his career on an opponent, and then Fury wins via decision. But Fury's been talking about that he's gonna walk down Deontay Wilder. I don't believe that. I don't believe he's gonna do that because that's going to. I think it wouldn't be a smart thing for him to do. At least early on in the fight, is try to walk Wilder down. Although somebody once told me in the past that if you smother Wilder by walking him down, that's a good thing because Wilder won't be able to like extend his right hand. But I still think it's dangerous to try and walk down Deontay Wilder. But Fury's the type of guy that always say stuff like he's gonna knock an opponent out and then he just boxes an opponent. So I don't really believe Fury. I think he's gonna fight the same way he fought the first time. That would be dope. That would be a quick fight though. If Fury keeps saying he's gonna knock out Deontay Wilder. I already told you guys I don't think he's capable of knocking out Deontay Wilder because in order to knock out somebody like viciously, you gotta walk forward. You gotta bring the pressure. And Fury's not really a pressure type of fighter. You know, he's more of a guy that he likes to be a boxer. He likes to play the counterpuncher. You know. I want to see more from Deontay Wilder, though. That's what I'm really curious about. Oh, I saw Hatman Strikes Back video, and he was talking about that Fury. He's surprised that no one's talking about Fury's cut because he had a really bad cut when he fought Otto Wallin. Or was it? I already forgot, either Otto Wallin or Tom Schultz, but he had like a really bad cut, and he said in his video that he thinks that cut's going to open while he's in the ring with Deontay Wilder, and that is going to play a major part in his chances against Wilder. That might happen because Wilder's been saying in the lead up that he's going to be, you know, aiming at Tyson Fury's cut, you know, that cut that he had, I think, in his right side of his eyebrow. He's going to be gunning for that eyebrow, that right eyebrow. So if he cuts it, it might be a thing where maybe Deontay Wilder's losing several rounds as he normally does, and then Fury is like wiping blood out of his face, trying to get his vision correct, and then he gets hit with a right hand. I want to see Wilder be fighting this guy on the inside, man. One thing I don't like about Wilder is because he relies so much on his right hand, he's like willing to give away rounds. I don't like that. I want to see him be aggressive. I think the way to beat somebody like Fury, because most of the guys that fight Fury, they don't have like his boxing skills. So you have to like walk Fury down. You have to that's how you beat dudes like him. You gotta, unless you're like a better boxer than him. But if you're not, you have to like walk him down. That would be dope. Oh wait, but we have seen Wilder rocked. I got 7 viewers, man. Holy cow. Mr. Wigmore says, I think the only way Fury would KO Wilder is if Fury gets Wilder to unload some massive punches and gets tired. Just like in the first Ortiz fight, if Fury can tag him at the point that he's tired. Well, or if he just catches him, because this is the heavyweight division. But the thing is, like, I've never really seen Fury knock somebody out cold. You know, Fury's more of a guy that if he stops a guy, it's because it's like he's just been beating them up for several rounds. He's not really a guy who can knock somebody out with one punch like a Deontay Wilder. So, I mean, do you guys picture Deontay Wilder being pinned up against the ropes and the referee waving the fight off? By the way, do you guys know who's refereeing this fight? Don't tell me it's the same guy who refereed the first fight, because everybody was pissed off at him. They felt that he should have counted out Fury in the first fight. I have no idea who's refereeing that fight. Oh, Charles Martin's going to be fighting, what's his name? Jared Washington tonight, isn't he? That's exactly what I think will happen, though. You think Tyson? You think Deontay Wilder is going to? I already know Fury could easily land on Deontay Wilder because he was landing all night in the first fight. He was constantly catching him. But Fury, I think he needs to be. That's the thing, because if he does be the aggressor, it's dangerous for him because he could get himself knocked out. But it's also good for him because he's going to be sitting down on his punches more. And he's going to be able to hurt Deontay Wilder more. How come all three judges and the ref are American, not very neutral? They are. I don't know. I haven't done research on none of the. I just found out like yesterday that they were fighting in Madison in Las Vegas. I didn't even know they were fighting there. So I haven't really been paying attention to any of like the boxing news that's been going on these past months. Really, I felt bad. You guys saw the weigh-in last night. They booed Deontay Wilder. You would have thought that this fight was taking place in the UK because they were like booing Wilder, and they were cheering on Tyson Fury. You can't tell me that many Tyson Fury's fans came from the UK all the way to Las Vegas to fucking root for Fury. It felt like everyone in that arena was just booing Deontay Wilder. I mean, unless Fury has like a massive fan base in the UK that are die hard and they went over to Las Vegas just to cheer him on, that had to piss Wilder off because Fury has been going around saying that he's a bigger name in America than Wilder, and Wilder's not known. So to have everyone boo him in his own damn backyard and cheer Fury, a guy who's not from there, that had to piss him off. Because both guys are represented by American companies Fox and ESPN. I wouldn't be shocked if this fight happened, if a draw happened in this fight or something controversial, because they're already saying that there's going to be a trilogy. So think about that, a trilogy, right? I mean, it would be cool if Fury beat Wilder because then he'll win the WBC title. And then in the trilogy, the whole lead up to that would be Deontay Wilder could go around saying, I'm going to, get redemption and get my WBC title back. But I don't know. AJ would be waiting forever. Imagine if they fought 4 times. They might. Didn't Manny Pacquiao fight Juan Manuel Marquez 4 times? I believe he did. So don't count that out. But that crowd, that arena, that crowd in the weigh-in was like freaking packed. It's obvious that a lot of people are hyped about this fight because that crowd was packed to the. That surprised me. I didn't think it was that. It was the second fight was that like hyped. But we're not going to get Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua anytime soon because they're already planning on having a trilogy. So forget about this year. They're fighting. They're going to fight again later this year. And, of course, Joshua is going to destroy Kureb Pulev this year. And then fight whoever. I hope he's fighting Alexander Usyk. Just a year and a half of constant Fury Wilder fights. Nah, don't forget Wilder versus Ortiz 3. You can never count that out. Wilder, we might even get Wilder versus Brazil 2. What do you guys think of Tyson Fury coming in at 273? And Wilder, I think this is his career heaviest at 231. Do you think that's good or bad for them? Does that make you change your opinion on who's going to win the fight? People are saying, obviously, since Fury is heavier now, he's going to be slower. He's probably going to gas out faster. And the same thing could be said for Deontay Wilder. I don't know. Wait, what does this say? Wait, what? Ortiz 3. Yeah, we might get that. Especially if Luis Ortiz beats Andy Ruiz Jr., he might fight him. Wilder would actually kill him this time. In the third fight. No, I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see Fury versus Wilder 3 either. Unless like this rematch is I don't want it to be controversial, but I have a feeling it might be. I don't know, man. By the way, I got Charles Martin beating what's his name, Gerard Washington. Wilder versus the 3, the trilogy to end all trilogies. What do you guys think? Everyone keeps comparing Deontay Wilder to Muhammad Ali because Muhammad Ali has 10 title defenses. Oh, no. I think to Mike Tyson and they're comparing a Fury to what's his name, Ali. This has to be very definitive if we are not to have the third fight. Yeah, like let's say Wilder knocked out Fury in the first freaking round, then there wouldn't be no point for a third fight, right? It'd be like, well, he knocked him out cold. I don't want it to be like the first fight where Wilder's losing several rounds and then he catches Fury right at the end, in the last 2 rounds, but Fury gets up and then is this thing where it's like, actually he should have won, or the referee should have counted this guy out. I want Wilder to knock out Fury. If he knocks him out, I want him to knock him out. Properly knock him out. Ali faced the best in his era and ducked no one. Yep. Tyson Fury not Tyson. Mike Tyson also faced the best when he was supposed to face the best in the late 80s. We're never going to get the unification fight between these two. I was hoping that it would be Tyson Fury to step up and face Anthony Joshua if he were to beat Wilder, but he's already coming out saying that he's going to fight Wilder for a third time because that's what's going to happen. It's a big money fight, according to him. So, God, I love Sprite. Fury said he was injured going into the fight. So many rumors of that. Injured going into what fight? The fight, his last fight? Or the first fight with Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder also said he was injured. Didn't he say that he broke his right hand right before the first Tyson Fury fight? At least that's what I heard. This fight, Fury's going into this fight with a really bad cut that he sustained in his previous fight. I have a feeling that cut's gonna open when he's facing Deontay Wilder, and that might affect him. The fact that Fury is coming in heavy makes me believe that he might actually not be lying when he says he's gonna come forward and apply pressure to Deontay Wilder, because why else would he like gain more weight? He gained like 17 pounds. I think he wants to be physical with Deontay Wilder. Yeah, like Tyson Fury broke his back. But but Mike Tyson was an old man by the time. I think I wouldn't be shocked if he probably had arthritis and stuff. He was like old by the time. I think that happened when he fought Danny Williams, right? He was probably suffering from all types of injuries by then. I'm not really too impressed with the undercard of this fight, man. Of this fight, I mean, the only fight I like, the only fight that I like of the undercard is Charles Martin versus Gerard Washington. But then again, every time I think of Charles, I know he had a good fight with Adam Konagi, but every time I think of Charles Martin, I think of him just giving up in 2 rounds against Anthony Joshua. And I already know that Washington is a guy that has absolutely no heart and quits in every one of his big fights. So, I guess the only fight I'm really looking forward to is this fight, the main event. I just hope Deontay Wilder gets credit if he actually does beat Tyson Fury, though, because a lot of people aren't giving him credit. You already know when it comes to Wilder, he doesn't really get credit, but I think this is a good victory for him if he does manage to beat. By the way, is Fury still the lineal heavyweight champion of the world? I've not done research on that guy at all. I think he is, right? Because if he beats him, he'll be the lineal champion in that. And then it's gonna be the same old, same old. When is Wilder and Anthony Joshua gonna fight again? He has to get credit. I hope he gets credit. Fury has to get credit too. If Fury beats Wilder, he would have officially won every belt in the heavyweight division. Because when he beat Klitschko, he had every belt except the WBC belt. So beating Deontay Wilder, he would have officially won every belt, every major belt in heavyweight division. I predict this fight going the exact same way the first fight went. I don't think Fury is going to change. I think Fury is just all talk. He's just acting like he's going to come forward and try and, bring the pressure. I think he's going to stick to what he did the first time because it was successful. He's going to go in there, win rounds. He's probably going to win several rounds. And you're probably going to see Deontay Wilder throwing that crazy right hand a whole bunch of times and constantly missing Tyson Fury. And then eventually catching Fury. Because Fury is going to tire. And once he tires and he slows down, he's going to get caught. Wilder versus AJ after this fight would be massive. It would be massive, but it's not going to happen. Because AJ is going to fight Khabib Pulev. And Fury already confirmed that he's going to fight Wilder a third fight. Later on this year, I think. AJ versus Wilder will be the biggest fight ever. Yeah. It would be. I would have loved if AJ would have attended this fight. And then whoever wins tonight, they would have confronted AJ in the ring and stuff like that. That would have been great. But Fury says he even if he does fight AJ, he's not gonna fight him in the UK, which I don't think it's a smart move. I think that's kind of dumb, and I don't think it makes sense. It would hurt the fight a little bit, though, if Deontay Wilder were to lose. But then again, it would also hurt AJ versus Fury if Fury were to lose, right? Because they're both... All three of these dudes... I mean, not AJ anymore, but, Wilder and Tyson Fury, they're both unbeaten still. Technically. I know they have a draw, but technically they're unbeaten. But if Wilder knocks Fury out cold, then the whole thing can be pushed forward if Usyk has an injury or takes some step-aside money. Maybe. But I also don't... I really want to see AJ versus Usyk, though, too, for some reason. But I would love it if they fought next, Fury versus AJ. But when it comes to, that fight and thinking about that fight... I made so many videos in my channel about, Fury, Joshua versus Wilder that I kind of have no hope for it now because how many years have passed and that fight never materializes. I remember making videos about Joshua versus Wilder back in 2017. And 2020 we still don't have that fight, so that's why I don't even make videos. If you notice, I don't even make videos talking about the possibilities of Wilder versus Joshua at all. Me Too, AJ versus is a good fight. Yeah, that's a good fight. That's a fight that's going to tell me how good Usyk is at heavyweight. Errol Spence Jr. is in the chat, man. We got a champion in the chat. It's a pleasure to have a champion like Errol Spence Jr. in the chat. Big up from the UK. I used to believe you were a Wilder and LDBC hater, but you have knowledge about boxing. Thanks. I'm not a LDBC hater. I'm also not a Wilder hater. What do you think about Usyk's injury? Many people think he's not injured and just waiting for his strength. Usyk's injury? I didn't even know he was injured. What happened? Did he pull out of a fight or something? Like I told you, I haven't been doing any type of research when it comes to boxing as of recently. I mean, just like a few of my uploads, I've just done some research on like AJ and mostly on Deontay Wilder, but I had no idea that he was injured. Who you got winning the fight, Fury or Wilder? It's very tough for me. I kind of look at it like a 50-50. I actually won't be surprised if the fight turned out the exact same way the first fight turned out. I won't be surprised if you see Wilder lose a lot of rounds and then Wilder eventually catch Fury and drop him. But I think Fury's cut that he suffered in his last fight is probably going to play a part in this fight. If you see his cut open and he's like gushing blood, he might get knocked out. Tyson Fury. So look out for that cut during this fight tonight. Look out for that cut and see if it opens and he starts bleeding. Because he does not want to be having, vision impairment while he's facing Deontay Wilder and while he's tired and stuff. So I have a feeling that might play a big part. I just hope to God there's no controversy, man. I hope to God, like, if Deontay Wilder knocks out this man, I hope it's not like a back of the head, right hand, and then people are like, hey, Wilder freaking hit him with an equilibrium shot. All this bullshit. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Could you imagine? The biggest surprise for me would be, the biggest two surprises for me in this fight would be if Deontay Wilder won via decision, like unanimous decision, or if Tyson Fury won via KO. That would be like the two shockers. Because I don't see Deontay Wilder being able to win via decision. I think he has to knock out Fury. I think like he has to knock him out. And I don't see Fury being able to, knock out Deontay Wilder. I think he could just beat him by using his boxing skills as he beats everyone. Apparently his elbow, they proposed. Oh yeah, that's right. He was going to fight Derek Chisora. I made a video about that a long time ago. That's a good fight for him, Chisora. No, that's a good fight for Usyk. That's a good test. Because even though Chisora is like a glorified journeyman, Chisora always comes to fight. He always brings the fight. So that's a fight that's going to let me know how good Usyk is. I have a feeling Usyk might have a problem with his power at heavyweight. Because he wasn't necessarily a big puncher at cruiserweight. So I think the heavyweights won't respect Usyk that much because I don't think he's a puncher. Easy win for Tyson Fury. There's only one Tyson Fury. Rest in peace, Juice WRLD. Yes, rest in peace. Chisora's a good gatekeeper. Yeah, Chisora always comes to fight, even though he's lost like so many fights. He does. Chisora's one of those guys that sometimes it looks like he should retire because he loses like 3 fights in a row, and you're like, I think you need to retire, man. And then out of nowhere he comes back and has a big victory for him. The fight I'm really excited about is Daniel Dubois, if that's how you pronounce his name, versus Joe Joyce. The two biggest shock for me would be if Wilder wins via decision, and if Fury gets up, if Wilder lands cleanly. What people don't realize is Wilder didn't connect flush at Fury in the Yeah, he didn't. He didn't connect flush. The punch he threw was more like a left hook. And then he followed up with a right hand, I believe. Yeah, that would be a great fight. Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. That's my fight. Hold on. I'm going to close the door because it's... Hold on. All right, I had to close the door. What was I saying? Joe Joyce versus Daniel Dubois. That's a fight that I'm really hyped about. I want to see how good Daniel is, man. I'm making videos hyping Daniel up in the past. I made in the past several videos. Hopefully he lives up to everything I said in those videos. I'm nervous, man. It's been a while since I've been this nervous. The last time I was this nervous for a fight was when Andy Ruiz fought Anthony Joshua, because I didn't know what was going to happen in that fight. I'm nervous about the results of this fight. I'm very curious to see if Tyson Fury. Man, it would be very entertaining for us if Fury actually did walk Wilder down, just because that would be a scary fight. Because Fury coming forward, walking down Wilder, he'll leave himself open for Deontay Wilder's right hands. So it will be entertaining for like the boxing fans, because every time Wilder misses, people will be like screaming like, "Oh my God, look at how close he was to catching Fury with his right hand." If someone put a gun to your head, who would you pick to win tonight's fight? Man, if someone put a gun to my head, who would I pick? God, that's tough. That's tough, Errol Spence Jr. Let's see. Fury Wilder. It's difficult because they both could beat each other. But I think Fury, if he boxes the way he normally boxes, could last a long time versus Deontay. I think he could last. Fury just has to not get hit and get dropped. Like, that's really it. If Fury doesn't get dropped against Deontay Wilder and he boxes Wilder's head off, he should be able to win a unanimous decision. The thing is, like, could he stay on his toes, on his feet for 12 rounds against Deontay Wilder? And Wilder always has this ability to land his right hand eventually. Even if Fury was so close to going to the whole fight without getting dropped, and then he managed to get dropped. Fury is heavier now, so he's probably going to be slower on his feet than he was the first fight. Fury just has to not get dropped in this fight. So that's really the question. Can Fury go 12 rounds without? Because I know he could outbox Wilder. Most of Wilder opponents could outbox him. It's just that he always eventually catches the dudes he's fighting. I'm nervous, guys. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. I'm out. Thanks for stopping by. I rarely do these live streams anymore, but I do appreciate anyone who